Hello, this is Corey Gerard, and I'm coming back at you with another epic battle from Monster Wars. So we have Leatherface, the cannibalistic slasher, versus the immortal, terrifying Maniac cop. The scene starts off facing a country Texas home that has a slaughterhouse attachment. Now we see an old police car pull up to this house. The police car came in very silent and it has tinted windows. Now a cop gets out who appears to be very big. This police officer is wearing a neat dress uniform with white gloves, but his face is unseen. This officer then walks to the house as he swings his nightstick. Now the complete back of him is shown on this clear daytime. He appears to be wearing a hat as well. Now the scene arrives inside of the house and a crazy family is shown throughout, which includes a very old man in a wheelchair. There is 4 of them in all. We then see the scene speed up very quickly, and now the Maniac cop is seen killing each of them. He now stabs a woman in her back. He then picks her up with a knife. This Maniac cop next hits a middle-aged man in his head very hard with the nightstick. The same cop then takes a crazy-looking young guy and breaks his back over a knee. This cop is last seen twisting the wheelchair guy's head off as the old man faced a window. Now the Maniac cop's face is shown and it looks terrifying. It appears to be pale with a lot of scars on it. The cop now briefly flashes back and we see him being cut up in a prison shower. He was known as Officer Matt Cordell those days. The scene then quickly flashes back to the present day and the Maniac cop is then seen entering the slaughterhouse section. Cordell is now seen holding his nightstick as he searches this room. It is a line of meat hooks here that are very visible to this maniac. Then all of a sudden a chainsaw is heard turning on and Officer Cordell is seen being attacked. We then see a menacing Leatherface guy swing his chainsaw at the Maniac Cordell. Now the cop is seen backing up as Leatherface attacks wildly. The Maniac cop is shown caught off guard because Leatherface quickly appeared from an end passage. Now the Maniac cop is seen blocking with his nightstick, but Leatherface splits it in half. The Maniac cop then quickly pushes in and grabs Leatherface's saw, swinging wrist. We then see both of them struggle with the loud cutting chainsaw. Leatherface then is seen regaining control because he knees the Maniac cop in his groin. Then Leatherface slices Cordell through the left shoulder, but it is only a flesh wound. Now Cordell is seen pulling out a long knife as Leatherface is seen swinging away. Then Leatherface tries to chop the Maniac's head off, but he misses. Cordell now is seen countering with a slice to Leatherface's left arm. Then Leatherface is seen shaking his head no and slices down at Cordell. Cordell then blocks the chainsaw with his knife and both blades are now seen locked together. The Leatherface killer then slices the knife out of Cordell's hand by using an up and down move. Now the Maniac cop is seen rushing in quickly to tackle Leatherface. The chainsaw then falls to the ground as seen doing so. We now watch Leatherface and Cordell as they wrestle on the slaughterhouse ground. Both of these killers appeared to have great strength. Cordell now is seen digging both thumbs into Leatherface's eyes, but the cannibal recovers by grabbing the Maniac cop's neck. Now Leatherface looks over and sees Cordell's knife. Now Officer Cordell is seen looking at the same knife as well. Both are then seen reaching for it as they continue to struggle on the ground. Then all of a sudden, Leatherface bites the Maniac cop on his lower arm, so Cordell rips off the left part of Leatherface's mask. Leatherface is then seen grabbing the knife, and the cannibal killer hits Cordell in the head with its back end. Now we see Leatherface dig that knife into Cordell's left leg and gets back up on his feet. Then Leatherface walks over to the chainsaw and picks it up. Then the Maniac cop is seen pulling the knife out of his leg, and Cordell is now seen making an angry expression. Leatherface is then seen pulling the chainsaw cord, but he's having a hard time starting it up. We then see Cordell rush at Leatherface as the chainsaw starts. Cordell then is seen grabbing the chainsaw by his blade, and the Maniac quickly throws it down. Now the Maniac cop sticks his long knife through Leatherface's throat, and the cannibal killer falls back. It seems that blade went in through the side of Leatherface's neck, though. Cordell then is seen walking toward the chainsaw weapon. Now the Maniac cop picks it up and starts it up with one cord pull. We then see Leatherface throw the long knife into Cordell's back because the Maniac cop had turned away from Leatherface. Cordell is still holding the buzzing chainsaw, even though the long knife is stuck in his back. Now the Maniac turns to face an approaching Leatherface, and Cordell lifts the buzzing chainsaw blade up, but Leatherface quickly grabs Cordell's saw-holding wrist. Now all of a sudden, both are seen struggling with this buzzing weapon. Leatherface now is seen reaching behind Cordell and rushes the knife further in to the Maniac cop's back with a push. We then see an angry Leatherface snatch the chainsaw from the Maniac cop's hand. Leatherface then is seen sticking the chainsaw blade through Cordell's chest, and the cannibal next gets wild with it. Cordell then is seen falling to his knees as Leatherface cuts off his arms. Now the crazy cannibal Leatherface cuts off the Maniac cop's head, and then is also seen raising his buzzing chainsaw in total victory. The end. So this concludes this episode Battle of Monster Wars. So stay tuned for further episodes.